boys and girls. It's so nice to see you. Today we will read Polar Bear, What Do You Hear? Written by Bill Martin Jr. and illustrated by Eric Carle. On the back of the book, it says, "A Splendid Successor to Brown Bear" by Publishers Weekly. We read Brown Bear already, remember? This is the next book, the successor. Are you ready to read? Polar Bear, what do you hear? Look at the polar bear. Isn't he beautiful? Polar bear, what do you hear? I hear a lion roaring in my ear. Oh, what a beautiful lion. What does a lion's roar sound like? Roar! Right? Lion, what do you hear? I hear a hippopotamus snorting in my ear. Snorting. Look at the hippopotamus. Hippopotamus, what do you hear? I hear a flamingo fluting in my ear. Flute, flute. I don't know what a flamingo sounds like. Do you? But they are beautiful birds, aren't they? Pink, because they eat shrimp. Flamingo, what do you hear? I hear a zebra braying in my ear. Bray, bray. Oh, the zebra with the black and white stripes. Zebra, what do you hear? I hear a boa constrictor hissing in my ear. Oh. He's a pretty boa constrictor, isn't he? A hiss. A hiss is a soft sound. Hiss. Hiss. Can you hear me? I hope so. Boa constrictor, what do you hear? I hear an elephant trumpeting in my ear. With that big old nose, an elephant does sound like a trumpet. Maybe. Elephant, elephant, what do you hear? I hear a leopard snarling in my ear. Snarl, snarl. Is that a leopard sound? Leopard, leopard, what do you hear? I hear a peacock yelping in my ear. Whoa, peacock, yelp. Yelp, yelp, yelp. That's yelping. Is that a peacock sound? Peacock, peacock, what do you hear? I hear a walrus bellowing in my ear. Ah, look at the walrus. He's pink. If you bellow, whoa, 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 that's bellowing. Is that a walrus sound? I don't know. Walrus, walrus, what do you hear? I hear a zookeeper whistling in my ear. Ah, the zookeeper. He's got the food. He's whistling while he works. That's my dog. I just whistled. I'm so sorry. Zookeeper, zookeeper, what do you hear? I hear children. Oh, look at all the children. Growling like a polar bear, roaring like a lion, snorting like a hippopotamus, fluting like a flamingo, braying like a zebra, hissing like a boa constrictor, trumpeting like an elephant, snarling like a leopard, yelping like a peacock, bellowing like a walrus. That's what I hear. Yay! Great book, right? In Brown Bear, we saw what the brown bear saw. In this book, we heard maybe what the polar bear heard. Fun book. Always wonderful pictures by Eric Carle. Let's read it together one more time, shall we? Together. Ready? Polar bear, what do you hear? I hear a lion roaring in my ear. Lion, lion, what do you hear? I hear a hippopotamus snorting in my ear. Hippopotamus, hippopotamus, what do you hear? I hear a flamingo fluting in my ear. Flamingo, flamingo, what do you hear? I hear a zebra braiding in my ear. Zebra, zebra, what do you hear? I hear a boa constrictor hissing in my ear. Boa constrictor, boa constrictor, what do you hear? I hear an elephant trumpeting in my ear. Elephant, elephant, what do you hear? I hear a leopard snarling in my ear. Leopard, leopard, what do you hear? I hear a peacock yelping in my ear. Peacock, peacock, what do you hear? I hear a walrus bellowing in my ear. Walrus, walrus, what do you hear? I hear a zookeeper whistling in my ear. Zookeeper, zookeeper, what do you hear? I hear children growling like a polar bear, roaring like a lion, snorting like a hippopotamus, fluting like a flamingo, braying like a zebra, hissing like a boa constrictor, trumpeting like an elephant, snarling like a leopard, yelping like a peacock, bellowing like a walrus. That's what I hear. Yay! Great story, right? Another one. See you next time, boys and girls. Bye bye.